Welcome to ProgrammingKT. I am explaining about the problem is finding peak element from given input array. So peak element means the element must be greater than to its neighboring elements. Like so 23 is the peak element in first input. Why? Because 23 is greater than to left side element. I mean 11. So and also 16. In second input 20 is the peak element. Why? Because previous element is the 3 and next element will be the 4. I mean both elements are less than to current element, that is 20. So in third input there are two peak elements 20 and 90. So depending on our requirement we can write the logic. So if you want to find all peak elements, you can declare one list, you can store all peak elements inside that list, we can return it, or else once the peak element is found we can return directly. So let me try to build the logic for this problem. First I am trying to declare one input array. So I am copying input values. Next I am trying to create one method called find peak element. So this method is expecting integer type of array. So I am creating that method. So from this method I am trying to return peak element. So first I am trying to handle base case. I mean if the array length is 1, I am trying to return 0th index element, array of 0. Return. Now instead of array length here I will declare one variable, then I can reuse it. Now I am trying to solve the problem in 3 steps. Why? Because in step 1 there may be a chance of first element may be the peak element. In second step last element may be the peak element. In third step in between first and last element there may be a chance of peak element. So step 1, first element may be the peak element. Like I am trying to checking the condition like array of 0 is greater than or equal to array of 1. So then first element will be the peak element. Array of I am trying to return 0. Next in step 2 I am trying to check condition for last element may be the peak element. Here I am trying to check the condition like array of n minus 1 greater than or equal to array of n minus 2. I mean last element is greater than or equal to last second element. So then last element will be the peak element, array of n minus 1. So now first two scenarios will be done. First element may be the peak element, last element may be the peak element. So in step 3 in between first and last. So here I am trying to iterate array from begin to end. I am trying to initialize a value with 1 and moreover that I am trying to iterate length minus 1. So inside this I am trying to check the condition like array of I is greater than array of I minus 1 and I plus 1. So here in this case, for current element, previous element and next element must be smaller. So first I am trying to check previous element is smaller to current element. Next I am trying to check like next element is smaller to current element, means greater than or equal to array of I plus 1. So for that, here I need to enter greater than or equal to. Now condition is looking good. Now I am trying to return if block becomes true, I am trying to return array of ith index element. So if there is no peak element, I am trying to return default value called 0. So this is the logic for finding peak element from given input array. Now let me try to run the program. So before that I need to print that peak element. So in first input 23 is the peak element, right? We got the same output. So let me try to run with second input. So 20 is the peak element. So let me run with third input also. So in this case I think 20 we will get for third input also. Why? Because first we get the peak element will be 20, immediately we are returning, right? So that's why let me try to run. So here in this case also we are getting 20 is the peak element. So if you want to find all peak elements, we can declare list here and we can store all peak elements here, then we can return it. So this is the logic for finding peak element. So if we can observe space complexity and time complexity, so space complexity I am not using any extra space. So time complexity wise big O of n. Why? Because I am trying to iterate array exactly n times. So depending on array size. So if you found any better solution comparing with this solution, finding peak element, make a comment in comment section. Thanks for watching.